You know, I never thought I'd be making this video, but here we are, I guess. A couple days ago, I was talking to some of my friends in the good old Keystone State, and somehow our topic shifted to sandwiches, which then brought me back to a few nights before that, where I was ordering from this sandwich shop near where I'm staying. And I said, hey, can I get a meatball hero? And he says, what's a hero? Now I'm like, oh, okay, he must not have understood, or he must not have heard me, or something like that. Because back in New York, where I was born and bred, we always called them heroes. They were hero sandwiches. That's what we called subs. And I just said, no, you know, like, just a meatball hero sandwich with less cheese, please. And he says, so you want a sandwich, or? This was the biggest culture shock to me. They didn't know what heroes were here. I thought that it was called a hero anywhere you went, because New York is basically the planet, right? So I was talking about this with a couple of my friends, and they said that it was called a hoagie. Now you see, apparently it is a very Pennsylvanian thing to call it a hoagie, which is terrible and wrong because they aren't calling it a hero, which is correct. To me, a hoagie sounds like a synonym for a big shit. Like, it sounds like something that a child would do in their bed while they're sleeping. They'd wake up really uncomfortable. They'd go wake up their parents at 4 in the morning on a weekend and say,
Mommy, Daddy, I made a big hoagie on the bed.
And then the parents would get up, they'd be exhausted, they'd be irritated, and they'd have to go clean it up. It's a disgusting word. Like, to my ears, that doesn't sound appealing. But it gets worse, because when I did further research into this, in the Northeast alone, there are a ton of different names for sandwiches depending on where you live. First, let's talk about everyone's favorite, grinders. Grinders. If I say that I want a grinder, it makes me sound like I'm about to deep throat the sandwich, which is very unsafe, and you probably shouldn't do. So no, I will not grinder that sandwich. Then it gets a little weirder when you go over to Maine, where they call it an Italian, which would be nice and all. But what do you do when not all the ingredients on your sandwich are Italian? Say that you get a sub sandwich with lettuce, American cheese, mayo if you want to be a degenerate, and okay, what do you call that, right? Like, there's nothing about this sandwich. So does your sandwich terminology change depending on the ingredients? Do you stop calling subs and start calling them Americans when it's exclusively Americanized ingredients? What about when it's like French ingredients? Do you start calling them Frenches? Be consistent. But now we get to my favorite. Now look, I love Boston. Really, I love Boston. It's gorgeous. The Boston Harbor is a beautiful sight. There's so much history there. It's a lot of fun. I've been there on vacation. But they have quite literally the dumbest name for the sub sandwich I have found while figuring things out for this video. They call their sandwiches, I don't know, is it Spookies? Is it
Spucky?
A Spucky. What the hell is wrong with you people? Spucky, really? That's the name of the sound that you make when you are about to throw up. Like a like, that's a Spucky. That right there, what I did, that was a Spucky. That's not a sandwich. That is a vomit word. So how do we fix this obvious non-issue? Well, we could leave things as they are and let everybody call sandwiches something completely different, but that sounds bad and annoying. Well, there's a couple options. For one thing, we should stop calling them subs because that's a stupid name. Like, oh, I would love a sub, except I'm terrified of the water. It's a stupid name. We can let Subway keep it, though, because they need to retain their branding. Otherwise, we either call them long sandwiches, or if it's just a 6-inch, then I guess a sandwich. Or we could all switch to the correct answer. Heroes. Because that's the coolest sounding one. Not that I'm biased or anything. It's just true. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me go on and on about sandwiches. New videos coming up pretty soon. Movies in production. Got this big thing that I want to try out that I'll see about doing by July or maybe middle of June or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm done now. Bye-bye.
Subscribe.